Can you imagine what it'd be like to quit your job and make a full-time income from the internet? That's as much as $1,600 a day, $8,000 a week, $32,000 a month, and $384,000 a year. Imagine what you could do with that kind of income. You could pay off your mortgage, put the kids through college, or take that round-the-world vacation you've always dreamed of. Whatever it is, you can be sure that making up to $32,000 a month will mean two things: freedom and security. Freedom to do what you want, whenever you want, without being weighed down by money troubles. And the security of knowing that you and your family's financial future is safe. Now, what would you say if I told you that this is not some pie-in-the-sky dream, but something me and my students are actually doing right now? And not only that, we've been doing it easily, simply, and from the comfort of our own homes. Take a look at the results I've been getting with the 60-minute profit plan I'm about to share with you. Last year, I made $412,472.81. And it's not just me. My student, Grayson Parker, a former truck driver, now makes an average of just over $34,000 a month using my 60-minute profit plan. And how about my student, Gina Davis, a single mom who previously worked at a children's daycare center until she joined the 60-minute profit plan family? Last month alone, she made $33,782.53. Or Rashad Lewis, a former assembly line worker who consistently makes over $200 every hour, with no prior experience and very little effort. Within a few minutes of watching this short presentation, you too can join the 60-minute profit plan family and start making up to $1,600 a day.
Hey guys, I'm not a newbie by any means, but I've been trying this online thing for years, and I only made a couple $1,000s in profit over all those years. And I got in touch with Brittany in the 60-minute profit plan, and I always go into these things skeptical because I'm just not sure if I got to put in money, how much am I really going to get back? And she really practices what she preaches, and what she preaches actually works. And I can't argue with the results because I'm already getting up to 15 grand in about 2 weeks. But you definitely want to check it out yourself. Do your due diligence, and you're going to really enjoy the 60-minute profit plan. So anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Check it out.
Brittany and her 60-minute profit plan can change your life. A lot of people can be skeptical when they first hear about the 60-minute profit plan. It sounds too good to be true. But when you have nothing to lose, giving it a shot is so worth it. And you'll be glad you did, because everything can start to change. Just imagine almost making $10,000 within your first week, and maybe even $34,000 by the end of your first month. Imagine having the money you need and deserve. Make the down payment on your own apartment, buy yourself your dream car. Do the things you've always wanted to do, and never go back to cruddy minimum wage jobs. You seriously won't believe how much can change in just a short few months.
I've been trying to make money online since 2014, and I've wasted a lot of time and a lot of money on things that just did not work. I was just about to give up, but then I joined the 60-minute profit plan because it looks so quick and it looks so simple. Thankfully, as it turned out, signing up was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I made $220 in the first hour of using the system, and I was completely mind blown. That was the first good bit of money I'd made online, and I just knew it was for real. Now I've actually been making $35,000 a month for the last 3 months. I'm almost completely debt free. I'm so grateful to Brittany and the rest of the team for this incredible opportunity.
Without any exaggeration, Brittany and her 60-minute profit plan have changed my life. At the end of 2017, I split up with my boyfriend and I had to move out of his apartment. I then lost a job and ended up sleeping on a friend's sofa. I was skeptical when I first heard about 60-minute profit plan. It just sounded too good to be true, but honestly, I had nothing to lose, so I gave it a go. I'm so glad I did because that was the point when everything started to change. Within my first week, I made almost $10,000, and by the end of my first month, I made $34,000. I'm no longer sleeping on my friend's sofa, and I've just made a down payment on my own apartment and bought myself a car. And I'll also never need to go back into crappy minimum wage jobs now that I have found this. I seriously can't believe how much things have changed over the past few months.
Hi there. I'm Brittany Francis, and over the course of the next couple of minutes, I'll be showing you how you can replicate the kind of results you've just seen. You don't need any prior experience, special knowledge, or technical know-how. All you do need is access to a computer and the internet. And if you're watching this, then I'm assuming you already have that. I'm sure right about now you might be thinking this sounds too good to be true. And I bet you might have had your hopes dashed before with systems that promise the earth but don't deliver. The 60-minute profit plan is not like anything you've seen before. This is an underground, tried and tested system that's consistently bringing in amazing profits you've just seen. And if a single mom with only a high school education like me can do this, then you can too. If you're sick and tired of getting up early to go to a job you hate that hardly even pays the bills, then this is for you. If you'd rather sit on your sofa in your pajamas with your laptop, making 5 figures a week, then this is most definitely for you. Just see what some of my students are saying. The 60-minute profit plan gives you the opportunity to take control of your financial destiny and start living the kind of life you've always dreamed of. It's designed especially for ordinary people like you. Ordinary people who have no finances or resources to invest and can only spare an hour or two each day out of their busy lives. Many of our newer students are still holding down full-time jobs as nurses, teachers, and factory workers while making up to $800 a day on the side with just a few hours work in the evening. This is a stupid simple method that anyone with internet connection and access to a computer, laptop, iPhone, or tablet can do. You don't need a fancy college degree, any special skills, or technical know-how. I only have a high school education, and so do many of our other members. And many others don't even have that. There's no software to install, no complicated approval process, or anything like that. It's almost effortless, and you can start making your first few $100s immediately. Just so you can see how easy this is, take a look at some of my earnings from yesterday. That's $186.72 I made on my iPhone in just 45 minutes while I was sitting by the pool watching my daughter's swimming lesson. And that's $227.53 I made on my laptop in just under an hour while I ate my lunch. That's the beauty of the 60-minute profit plan system. You can fit it in around your normal routine and still make life-changing amounts of money. It really couldn't be easier. The problem is, if you're anything like me or most of my students, you may have heard these kind of claims before, or seen those flashy videos full of BS about how you can make thousands of dollars while you sleep, etc. Unfortunately, I bought into a lot of those schemes before I finally hit upon the 60-minute profit plan system. But you can be assured that what I'm going to share with you today is nothing like any of that garbage you've seen before. In fact, my secret system is still so little known, you won't have seen anything like it anywhere before. Once you gain access to the 60-minute profit plan, you'll see that it's a completely guaranteed formula for generating astonishing amounts of income as rapidly and easily as possible. And that comes with my guarantee of success and my personal ironclad promise. You won't be asked to invest any startup money to get the system going. You won't be required to buy software, hardware, or any other equipment. And you won't need any expertise or professional skills. The 60-minute profit plan has been designed especially for ordinary people like you. And you can get started immediately, within a few minutes of watching this short presentation. Within the first hour, you can see the first few $100s rolling into your account. Right now, as I speak, my students are making hundreds of thousands of dollars every day between them, with many making up to $2,000 each per day. I know that right now you're probably thinking, that's fine for Brittany, but it won't work for me. She was probably born with a silver spoon in her mouth, she's got the skills, technology, and know-how to make this work. Well, let me tell you, you couldn't be further from the truth. Before I transformed my life with a 60-minute profit plan, things were hard. I got pregnant in my last year of high school and had to give up my dream of going to college. My partner was in the military and was often away. I gave birth to our first daughter, Jade, when I was 19 years old, and 18 months later I was pregnant again. Amber was born, and before I knew it, I was bringing up 2 kids pretty much on my own, while my partner served long hours abroad. 4 years later, he came home for good after his last deployment in Afghanistan, but it wasn't the homecoming I'd been imagining for so long. Pretty quickly, it became clear he wasn't the same man I'd known before he left for Afghanistan. He became completely withdrawn and distant and began drinking heavily. The Army psychologist diagnosed him with depression and PTSD and prescribed him anti-anxiety and antidepressant medication. This only seemed to make him worse, and he'd just lay in bed or on the sofa all day, completely zoned out. One day, after picking the kids up from daycare, I came home and he was gone. No note, no nothing. And here I was, a single mom with 2 kids to raise and only a high school education and a minimum wage job. I had no idea what to do. All I knew was that I needed money and fast. Thank God I've got some amazing friends and family. They lent me enough to get through the first couple of months alone, and they also helped out with childcare so I could pick up some extra shifts at work, but I knew that couldn't last forever. I still needed to find a reliable source of money that would be enough to put food on the table for me, Jade, and Amber, and keep up payments on the house and car. One night, I saw a special feature on CNBC about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. It showed people that had turned a few $100s into tens of millions. I couldn't believe it. I didn't need tens of millions of dollars, but if I could turn a few hundred into a few thousand, that would be a start. I had some credit left on a couple of my cards, and instead of going for the well-known crypto coins like Bitcoin, I thought I'd buy some of the smaller, much cheaper ones. I knew this was a big risk, but the potential reward was huge. I was so excited that my hands were shaking as I pressed the buy button on the website. I sat back and waited for the coins to increase in value. I logged in every day over the next few weeks to check on my investment, but each time I did, my heart sank a little bit more. Within a couple of months, half the coins I'd bought had turned out to be scams, and the rest were almost equally as worthless. I'd basically flushed $800 I couldn't afford to lose down the toilet. I was beside myself. I felt so embarrassed and ashamed. How could I have been so stupid? I spent the next couple of days feeling extremely depressed, but I realized I couldn't mope around forever. I had to pick myself up and find another way of making some money for me and the girls. A few weeks later, an old high school friend who'd heard about my situation contacted me on Facebook. We got chatting, and she told me about her brother who'd had some success making money from the internet. She suggested I try it too. I spent hours trolling through websites, watching videos, signing up to every Make Money Online newsletter and webinar I could. There seemed to be a lot of people making amazing amounts of money doing all kinds of things I'd never even heard of. I was confused and overwhelmed, but once again, I began to feel hopeful about the future. There was clearly a lot of money to be made from the internet. I just had to find the right thing. First of all, I bought a course about making money from dropshipping and Shopify. But after several months of hard work, I'd not made a single sale. Not only that, I'd also wasted $997 on the course and a further few $100s on the Shopify membership and other things. I was getting increasingly desperate, but I gritted my teeth and moved on to the next thing. I tried to remain positive, knowing that I didn't have much more to lose and had to do something for the girls. To keep my morale up, I had started to listen to business podcasts and motivational audiobooks. These helped my mood, and the speakers kept reminding me of the story of the man who quit digging just 2 inches before striking gold. To be honest, it felt like I was using my bare hands instead of a pickaxe and could barely even break earth, let alone strike gold, but I kept going. I didn't want to be one of those quitters that just gave up, inches away from striking it rich. Next, I tried building an audience via social media so that I could sell things for a commission in the future. I spent days setting up a YouTube channel, Instagram account, Twitter, Facebook, etc. to showcase my sewing skills. After more than 2 months of hard work, sewing and posting every day, I had a grand total of 18 subscribers on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter combined. At this point, I was about ready to break down. That night, after putting the kids to bed, I opened a bottle of wine, threw myself a big pity party, and cried my eyes out. Over the next few months, I'd worked harder than I'd ever worked before. I'd tried everything. I'd spent thousands of dollars I didn't even have. I was broke, overwhelmed, and on the edge of despair. I had no money, 2 kids to raise, and no one to share the burden with. I didn't know where to turn or what to do. Although I'm not religious, as I sat there that night in the armchair sobbing, I started to quietly pray. I don't know exactly who I was praying to, but a desperate, pleading prayer came out of me over and over again. The next morning, I did the school run and listened to a business podcast in the car as usual. That morning, they were talking about tapping into the limitless potential of the internet to live the life of your dreams. And it was then that something happened. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, whether something had loosened in my mind and fallen into place or finally clicked, but I was suddenly struck with what seemed like an incredible idea. As I drove home, my hands were shaking on the wheel and my heart was pounding. I was excited, but skeptical too. I'd been through too much since my partner had left us over a year before to let myself get my hopes up again. Even so, I rushed into the house and started up my laptop. I went to a little-known website that the business guru had mentioned on the podcast and began to test my idea. And that's when one of the most exciting things in my entire life happened. After 2 hours, I received a payment of $1.46 to my account. Okay, now I know you must think I'm crazy getting that excited about $1.46. But until that point, I'd not made a single cent from the internet. When I saw the payment of $1.46 show up in my account, I almost cried with joy. I jumped up from my chair and ran around the room screaming and punching the air. I couldn't believe it. I'd been starting to wonder if it was even possible to make money from the internet or if it was all just a big scam. And now here it was, proof that it really was possible to make actual money from a few clicks with the mouse. I started to think. I'd made $1.46, so I just needed to do that 100 times a day to make $146 a day, which is $53,290 a year. My mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Once I'd come back down to earth, I set about it again. Within 45 minutes, I received another payment, this time of $10.24. And then again, and again, and again. By the end of the first day, I'd made $124.58. Now, I don't know if you've ever wanted something so bad and then finally got it, but not only got it, actually got more than you'd asked for. Well, I can tell you it's a pretty amazing feeling. I could hardly sleep that night. I couldn't stop thinking of ways to improve what I had done and increase my income. At 4:30 a.m. the next morning, I jumped straight back onto my laptop and got back to work. By the time I took the kids to school at 8:30 a.m., I'd already made over $50. And by the end of the day, I was up over $200. Now things were getting real. I knew I was onto something that really worked and had the potential to change my life in the way that me and my girls needed so badly. I was now like a woman possessed. When I wasn't working, cooking, or ferrying the girls around, I was on my laptop refining my income method and developing new ones. Even when I was watching the girls swim or waiting outside their dance class, I was on my iPhone making money and figuring out new ways to make more. And here you can see the fruit of that first month's labor. Over $35,000. That's basically double what I earned in a year at my previous job. I'd been in debt my entire adult life, always maxing out credit cards and living off overdrafts. So I'd never seen that kind of money sitting in an account of mine in my entire life. I couldn't believe it. At this point, I quit my job so I could focus on my online business. As of today, I've created multiple income-generating methods, any one of which allows me to create consistent passive income of over $1,600 a day. Each of these takes no longer than 60 minutes to set up and will give you a way of making life-changing profits. Hence, my special bundle of these methods, which I'm prepared to share with you today, is called the 60-Minute Profit Plan. None of my methods require prior knowledge, technical skills, or startup costs. If you have a computer, iPhone, or tablet and an internet connection, you're good to go. These are the exact same methods that me and my students are currently using to make over $200 an hour with. It's funny, but even after the immense success I've had, I still think of myself as that struggling single mom. I'm still an ordinary person like you. I still find myself worrying in the middle of the night if I'll have enough money for this or that or for the girls. I have to remind myself that we have more than enough for the rest of our lives. It's as if it still hasn't totally sunk in yet. And you'll also find it's hard to wrap your head around when you go from a lifetime of struggling and being in debt to having thousands of dollars in the bank. But it's not just the amount of money that it's possible to make with my 60-minute profit plan, which is slightly mind-boggling. It's also how easy and flexible it is to make it. You can make thousands of dollars a day from home, while you wait at the dentist, from the side of the pool while on vacation, literally anywhere you have internet connection and a bit of time to spare. I've never come across another opportunity to make up to $200 an hour with just a few clicks of a mouse from anywhere in the world. And the income figures I've given you are only a guideline, based on an average of 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Many of my students are working 10 or 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. The amount of effort you put in and how much you make is entirely up to you. But what you can be sure of is making up to $200 an hour. If you want, you can use the 60-minute profit plan as your sole source of income, like my student Michael Cruz from Bakersfield, California, who puts in 14 hours a day. That means you can make up to $2,800 a day like Michael does. If, however, you're very busy and holding down a full-time job, like my student Casey Brooks from Akron, Ohio, you might only have an hour or two to spare each day. This means that you might only be making $200 to $400 a day. But even with this tiny amount of work per day, Casey has been able to provide a better life for herself and her family. And to be honest, it's the success stories of students like Michael and Casey that really give me more pleasure than making my own money does. There's also the reason that I've decided to partner with ClickBank, the world's most trusted seller of digital products, to make my 60-minute profit plan widely available for the first time. I was previously only taking students on through personal referrals or on a one-on basis for a 4-figure fee. But having seen the kind of positive impact my methods are having on normal struggling people like yourself, I've decided I want more people to be able to have access to them. The people that need the most in these difficult economic times. So instead of coaching one-on-one for a 4-figure fee, a little while ago, I decided to bundle all my methods together for a one-off price of $197. However, today, you're not even going to have to pay that. I've decided to slash that price tag even further and am giving away my most profitable money-generating methods for the tiny price that you can see below. And that's it. There's no monthly subscription, there's no recurring payments, hidden costs, or expensive upgrade fees. To unlock the 60-minute profit plan and change your life, you simply need to pay the stupidly small amount you see below this video. As I said, I want the 60-minute profit plan to be available to as many people as possible. The people that really need it. Single moms working 2 jobs to make ends meet. People on disability welfare who can't get out of the house to work. Anyone who's working their ass off trying to get out of debt but not getting anywhere. The people who've been trying to make an honest buck online to better themselves, but that have been ripped off time and again by scammers. If that is you, then this is for you. It's exactly what you've been waiting for to turn your life and finances around. The methods that I've tried and tested, the methods you'll be getting inside the 60-minute profit plan, will allow you to make up to $384,000 every month. What I'm sharing with you today will transform your life. There's no question about that. But I also understand that when money is tight, even a no-brainer decision such as this takes some consideration. That's why, to protect my standards and give them peace of mind, I've decided to partner with ClickBank to launch the 60-minute profit plan. Not only are ClickBank the oldest and most secure retailer of digital products, they are also the internet's most trusted. And together, we're offering you our cast iron 60-day money-back guarantee. That's right. If for any reason you're less than 100% blown away by the money-generating methods I'm going to reveal to you inside the 60-minute profit plan, we'll give you a full and immediate refund. We've done everything we can to ensure this is a 100% risk-free opportunity for you. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. This really is a no-brainer. So hit the buy button below this video before we increase the price or remove this page altogether. I'll only be accepting a limited number of students as I don't want the power of these methods to be diluted. If they get into too many people's hands, they'll not be as effective, and the potential profits for everyone will be far less. So it really is important you grasp the time-sensitive opportunity to change your life while you can. If you close this page thinking you'll come back to this later, there's every chance that it'll be gone. The question then is if you can live with squandering an opportunity to change the lives of you and your family. So make sure you don't procrastinate and take action now. Hit that button and start making mind-blowing sums of money today. If you don't, you'll have missed the chance to make up to $32,000 this month. Compared to the possible $384,000 you can make this year, the one-time fee to unlock the 60-minute profit plan is tiny. In fact, within your first hour of work with the methods you'll access inside, you'll repay that fee many times over. The methods inside the 60-minute profit plan have transformed my life and the lives of my students. Between us, we've made millions of dollars doing work that requires very little effort, no special skills, technical know-how, or startup investment. There simply isn't an easier, more profitable, or more flexible way to make serious income online. So click the button below now, and within the next hour, you can see the first couple of $100 rolling into your account. Get started now, and by the end of the day, you could have made up to $2,000. Do it now and get started on your journey to financial freedom today. I look forward to working with you on the inside.